Take me back to a place where
Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is Alexandra. So in today's video we are going to continue with my garden makeover. And you know, I did a palette decking and then I did a painting, and so this next video I'm going to create a chair, or like, will I say sofa or a chair, using pallets again. As I showed you in the previous videos, I use palette for most of the things, and so I just want to keep things very affordable and, you know, under cost, not a lot of high cost into these DIYs. And so yep, I hope you enjoy this new video. To begin with this video, we are going to be cutting this palette to the size that I want. When I took the palette, it looked too wild for me because my decking is not big. So when I leave it this way, the chair is going to be too huge for the size of my decking. So I'm just cutting it to the size of the other one. I've cut one already and then placed it in the other side. So now I'm matching them. And after that, I'm going to clip them together using a nail. There are other metals you can use, like binding metals, where you can connect like these two pallets together and screw it to be like even really stronger. But I just wanted to use nail to do this, to join these two. As I said, I don't want to go too over the top, like with cords, buying so many things. Most of these things I'm doing for this, especially this chair, is the pallet is already free. I'm not paying for the pallet, which is the best part of it for me, because I just go to the Blanchford to collect them. It's like they have a lot of pallets, any type I want, I'll just select them. Anyway, so just continuing, that is how I'm going to nail them. I'm nailing them together. I'm doing the back, every part of it, to make sure when I lift the top one, the bottom one will go with it, if you know what I mean. Yep. So now I'm going to cut. I've measured already the height of the back seat that I want. I wanted it to be a little bit short, not too tall, because when I sit, I don't want it to be like all over my head. Yes, I just want it to be just a bit above my shoulders. Yeah, so I measured both of them already, so I'm just cutting them to the size. Finished. I'm going to stick the wood that I took off the other pallets. That was another pallet. You see that the color is different from this one because they were quite new. I collected from from the Blanchford like the same day. But those two on the floor are really old, over about 6 months old. They've been outside, rain, sun, winter. So yeah, just making use of all of them and just sticking them there to see. First of all, I wanted to put only 4 at the back, but then I decided to try and 5 and see. But when I use the 5, you can see, like, that's how I want to try and see. It doesn't look good at all. It's like too close together. So I just decided to take that one off and stick the 4 and leave some spaces. That one, it give it a bit of a style. And also the reason why this the back seat, the linen one on, did not extend to the very end is that it's very short. But then this is the wood I want to use for it. I don't want to get rid of it because they are really new and pretty. I want to use those anyway. But then when I finished the work, I realized I give it another style anyway. Even though it wasn't enough to reach the whole back, like to extend, I still think it looked really good. It gave the sofa chair a bit of a style to it. Yep. So when I finish nailing it, I am just going to be doing the sitting side. You can see both sides of the sitting side, there is already some pallet wood that has been used to like cover it. So I'm just taking the new ones that I brought and measure the pallet, the wood, to be the same height like other one, or the same length. Yeah, and then cut it all. I'm going to use my straight edge to just like measure, you know, like a straight line, and cut it through with my saw. So that's what I'm doing now, just to make sure they are all in line, so that when you sit down, it doesn't like to extend forward. Yep. That's how it's looking now. I'm going to cut it with my saw. Anyway, I have a lot of electric saws on the floor which I should use, but then I just wanted to use this because the way it cuts, it's really nicer for me than some of the electric ones. And then the noise, especially sometimes when you have neighbors around and you are cutting things in your garden, like really every time. Anyway, so just continuing with this. I finished cutting and I see the lengths that I want. It's really good. I'm just spacing them out to make sure it's not too wild and it's not too tiny, too close. So just arranging them before I start my nailing. So this is like just about a few of them left to arrange. All done. I'm just nailing them down. What I did is I nailed both sides from the front to the back, and I did most of them like double at each end to be really strong. So this chair I've made is really strong, really. But one thing with this chair is that it's super heavy. I couldn't lift this alone. I mean, you can't really lift or carry this alone at all. You need 2 people. at least to carry this chair. It was really heavy. And to complete this, to make it look even good, I decided to put the same pallet to close the front of it. If you look on my decking, the one on the floor, that black thing on the floor is the decking I made of pallet. You can see that I used the same pallet wood to close the front. Yeah, if I did not close it, it will have been looking, you see how it look underneath, like open, exposed. You can see that it's really pallet. It doesn't really look good. It doesn't have any style to it. So this is my idea to close it up. It will look like a proper clean chair. Yeah, so just using my nails again to just nail them together. This part is very tricky because you are nailing into those kind of like thin wood at the end, so you have to be careful. But then into the center there is very thick woods there, so it's good to nail those sides properly. So finish with that, I'm going to sand them down. I'm sanding the back and then the all part of it. Really, I'm going to make sure every part of it is really smooth. Also, I make sure I nail the nail inside properly so that it's not pointed anywhere, like when you see it you can feel it or not. So almost done, just sanding all down nicely. You can see the difference, the big difference it has made. Covering this front part and the sides with the wood is really make a big difference. So this is how it looks now. It's so pretty. I like this color, but then I don't want to leave it like this anyway, because when you leave it like that and the sun and the rain is going to spoil it. Also, the paint I'm going to use is the cuprinol garden paint, which is in the color natural stone. It's look kind of like cream. No, it's not cream, kind of like, yeah, stone really. But anyway, so just painting the whole chair, or will I say sofa I've made. I don't know how you will call it. If you have this, how will you call it? Give it a name. Anyway, just painting it, and decided to use my roller and see, but then the roller is like doing a lot of splashing of paint, because one problem with this paint is it's not that thick, it's a bit light. So just making sure it all goes over the bench and cover it nicely. The thing too is that I have to do it like 2 coats to cover it properly, because the paint was not that thick, it's a bit light. So I painted all over the top, the sitting part, and all underneath side, anywhere that I want. If it's exposed to water or sun, it might damage. This paint says it's a kind of wood protection, so it's really good. Look at the back of the seat, it looks really nice. Anyway, almost done. When this one dries, the first coat, I'm going to give it a second coat, but that one will be off camera to cut this whole process of the video very short. Yeah, so almost done with it. Just still painting my the side of my chair, or will I say pallet chair. Yep, just finishing with that, and then I'll see what is next. I have a lot of projects to do this summer, really, with my pallets. I have a few pallets. I wanted to do like some planters, where I'll do a very long planter and put some nice flowers and stuff inside, like maybe fake ones and all that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope you've enjoyed it and it has been helpful to you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys, and thanks for your support.